So first off, thank you all so much for joining today's conversation. I'm super excited that you're all able to make it to today's conversation. It's a very, very interesting topic. Yes. And I'm glad that you all could make it. I woke up this morning, guys, and I've been really traumatized. I woke up this morning, went onto social media just to see what's happening. Because to be honest, I had sort of like been avoiding social media for a few days. So I just thought, okay, let me just go on there and see what's happening. So I went onto YouTube first, and the first video I saw was about this lady's story, Robinson. Yes, Shanquella Robinson. And I started doing my own research. I mean, guys, I'm all the way here in Nigeria, so there's only so little that you can actually get from the internet. So I was literally jumping from one social media platform to the other. I spent up to, I think, 3 hours, to be very honest. I spent up to 3 hours because I woke up really early as usual. So I spent about 3 hours just following up on the story, getting different narratives from different angles, different analysis, listening to different news stories. And guys, you know what they call goosebumps? I had goosebumps all over my body. Now, this is not me blaming this young woman. I'm not in any way blaming her, but I'm just saying this as a word of advice to everybody out there, whether you're young, whether you're old, as long as you have people around you. Honestly, you need to be alert at all times. When I say be alert, check the room. Always, always read the room. Always, always read the room. Maybe you're in a place, 1 minute everybody is excited, everybody is all hyped up, and the next minute, some people's moods begin to shift. Some people begin to get upset, or maybe the space is too enclosed. Honestly, personally, I'm not even a fan of being in an enclosed space for too long with the same set of people. I'm not a fan of such. If I'm in the same space, same set of people for too long, I begin to look for somewhere to go to. I just want to move, just go out and then come back and just, a lot can happen in your absence, a lot can happen in your presence at the same time. But sometimes just learn to shake ground. What am I saying? You can't trust everybody 100%. Even though you call somebody your best friend, your best friend, your ride or die, remind yourself that if push comes to shove, not all of your best friends can die for you. Not all of your best friends can take a bullet for you because they also value life. Yeah, even people that are suicidal, they also value life. So that concept of yes, blah blah blah, and then you want to shut out the world and focus all of your energy in that one person or this set of people, it's very dangerous. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. And again, another very important lesson I got from all this, which is very important, is that wherever you are going, you're traveling, you're taking a trip, please inform your family. Even though you're not on talking terms with your family members, even though you people cannot see eye to eye, at least send a text message or a WhatsApp message or a DM on Instagram if they're on Instagram. Or if you cannot reach them via any of these means, look for somebody, tell the person to go and tell them. Tell people around you, people you trust. At least when I say people you trust, at least family at least. At least family, because whatever happens in this life, even though you're not even on good terms with your family, trust me, if something happens along the line, at least there'll be one person from your family that will stand up for you, that will stand up to want to check what's happening. That's one thing I learned. And I mentioned this before in the course of our conversation, that I am really grateful to God that this lady actually informed her mom, her parents, of her whereabouts. Imagine if she did not tell them anything. I mean, these days, we see a lot of things like this happening on social media, friends, all in the name of creating content. They just impromptu, they plan a trip, impromptu, they are out of the country, impromptu, they are like, oh, I'm a traveler, I'm here. I mean, all of those things are quite exciting, especially if you're a content creator, especially if you want to put yourself out there in the spotlight. It's quite exciting. But I think now, moving forward, start thinking about the dangers that actually do exist in the world, because this world is not 100% pure. This world is not 100% pure. There's good just as much as there's bad. So you need to be self-aware of your environment, people around you. Tell your family whatever you're doing, wherever you're going. Yes, don't tell yourself, oh, I'm an adult. Even at the age of 50, you're still not 100% an adult because there should be one person that would always look out for you. And for those people that are heavy on bringing out their phones, their gadgets to record disasters happening around them, please, you are an enabler if you don't know. Something is happening and you want to be the first person to drive the traffic, you want to be the first person to put out the news, and you're not doing anything about it, especially when you're in a position to help. If you don't do anything about it and something goes wrong at the end of the day, and you still end up getting your video, capturing your video, you are evil. You don't just know. If people are calling you expert in getting driving news, trust me, if you are such a person and you're in a position to help or in a position to get help and you do not, you are evil. There's nothing else. You're evil. And it doesn't really pay to be evil. Forget all these comic movies you watch that they say, oh, the evil one is always the victorious. It doesn't really pay. And you're also saving a life. You're saving a life. You're reducing, what is it, fatality rate, they call it. You are reducing death rates. You are reducing trauma for people. Because when people lose people, people will still be left in this world to grieve over them. People will still be stuck with the trauma. So you're reducing that emotional and mental stress for people. Be kind around you. Envy does not pay. If you find yourself in a situation where you have issues with somebody, try to trash it out with them one-on-one directly. Sometimes you might not feel mentally strong enough or balanced enough to have a conversation of conflict resolution with that person, right? So give yourself time, and then when you feel you're strong enough, have that conversation instead of mobilizing people to come and help you fight your battle against that person. Shanquela, I think that's part of what happened to her. A gang up. There's been a gang up, and now there's about to be a cover up. But God will expose all of them. And you that find yourself in a circle of friends, you have no business going out of your way to inherit beef. I completely dislike the concept of people inheriting beef. Whether you know the origin of the beef or not, whether the person having the beef with the other person is your friend or your soulmate or not, you have no business whatsoever inheriting beef, because what you're doing is you're making yourself the devil's enabler. And you see this, our heart, the things your mind can do, the things that are buried in your heart, sometimes you'll be shocked when you are angry and you begin to think XYZ, the way your mind will start flying. So when you inherit beef, what happens is, because of the emotional attachment you have with the person that's having beef with the other person, you begin to feel slighted on the person's behalf. You begin to feel offended on that person's behalf. And then you now start taking it upon yourself to want to met out undue judgment on the other person. And it's not in your place. You don't have the audacity, even though you think you do. You do not have the audacity. Nobody put you in that position. So it's not your fight. It's not your fight. It is not in your place. All of these things I'm mentioning, these are most of the things I noticed from that video I watched, from the little, digging in I did here and there, here and there, here and there. And another thing, I know that a lot of us that spoke talked about, watch your friends, watch the people in your circle. If they start giving you a certain vibe, watch out, be careful. That is important. Most importantly in such a scenario is watch the way your friends behave to people that are not in your circle. If you have a friend that acts all nice and all goody two shoes, when you people are in your gathering, when you people are in your own circle, And then when that person is now relating or interacting with other people that are not you people's friends, and that person is mean, that person is devious, that person is vengeful, that person is spiteful, that person is extremely petty, that person is just very, very vindictive. You have to be careful. There's a word my mom will say sometimes, even my dad, my late dad, they will say that, oh, when you give somebody a gun to go and rob a bank, one day that person will use that gun you gave to them to shoot you and kill you. So I've seen scenarios where people are friends with people that just have very, very off attitude. And instead of them to try as much as possible, to help them, to talk to them, to have conversations with them about, learning to be gentle, learning to be nice to people, and learning to be tolerant and accommodating. You see them hyping their friends. My bestie is very petty. My bestie is very savage. My bestie is going to whoop your ass. My bestie is XYZ. They wear it as a badge of honor to have people that are just naturally very, very mean. And for them, they don't want to do anything about it because so that when they have a problem, when they have a fight with some other people, they will have a friend that they will go and call to come and defend them. It will work in your favor for some time, but guess what? One day, all of that pettiness, all of that bad character that you are hyping, one day it's going to come staring at you in the face and you receive it 100% more than the way they've been dishing it out to other people. Last thing I want to say is loyalty. You can be loyal to people around you, but you have to be loyal to yourself first. If you find yourself in a space that too much aggression has happened, too much aggression has passed, and you're beginning to sense that, okay, this place is becoming volatile, in as much as you want to be loyal to the people that you are with in that space, please think of your own safety first. You can share the word with someone in that group that you think might be reasonable enough to want to listen. But if you now feel or sense that that aggression is directed at you mostly, i.e., for instance, they are making very dirty jokes and it's targeted at you. They are making racial jokes and it's targeted at you or people of your skin color. Or they are making financial jokes and it's directed at you. Possibly the people in that clique is wealthy and you are the church rat, or you are the wealthiest amongst them and the others are not up to your level, and they are saying all manner of XYZ about you or against you in your face, behind your back, and you are still in that space. Please be loyal to yourself first by exiting that group. Save yourself. Save yourself. So guys, I'm not an expert in friendship conversations. I myself, I didn't really have like a lot of friends, to be very honest. I'm not an expert in friendship conversations, but I've had my own fair share of experience and I have seen things in this video that's very scary. That's very, very scary. We were not there. I was not there. So I can't even say that this is exactly what happened. But from the clips here and there that's coming in, ladies and gentlemen, it's enough for me to even have an inclination as to what exactly happened. I refer back to the audio recording I listened to from, I can't really remember her name now, the light-skinned girl that's a friend to this lady that's passed. I can't remember her name as well. I keep forgetting. The way she was sounding in that audio recording, she was sounding very flippant. She was sounding very, very saucy. She was sounding very like this. She was giving this air of I don't care attitude. And I'm screaming here, your friend is dead, courtesy of what she people did to her. And she's sounding like, well, when we left her, she was alive. I cannot speak for the person that she was fighting with. So whenever that person is here, the person will speak. And that's what I'm also saying about friendship. When your friends are savage, and you are very proud of them, trust me, one day to come back and bite you. So please, let's keep ourselves safe. Let's be careful. Be careful. Read the room. Some people, you've been in friendships of over 15 years, 20 years, and you're thinking that, oh yes, you're 100% safe. I'm not saying you should be scared of your friends that you've had long-term friendships with. I'm not saying you should be scared, but at the same time, you need to be alert. You need to be alert because we're humans. Anything can change the mind of a human being, anything can change the personality of a human being. Anything crazy can just influence a human being like that. So please, let's be careful. And this is where I'm going to end today's conversation. Thank you all so much for coming out strong for us to have this conversation. And personally, I will be praying and hoping as well that those people responsible for Miss Robinson's death are brought to book, that they get the deserved punishment. Guys, I'm not even talking about, oh, okay, because you're that. No, as far as they were all there, they deserve a high degree of punishment. So I'm going to be praying that they get served. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have an amazing, amazing, amazing weekend. Bye.